All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another edition of Raiders on the Podcast, a special one here. We're recording on a Wednesday instead of a Friday, March Madness time. We're going to go through the whole entire NCAA Tournament bracket. Myself, Jacob Buttar, my dear friends, Tom Dry, William Moyer. William Moyer, second podcast, and he's a big college basketball fan. So this will be a good one. This will be a good one.
If I could be on one podcast the whole year, it'd be this one.
Of course. And how we're gonna do this, guys, is we're gonna go region by region here. We're going to go through all the games. We can talk as little or as much as we want about every single one. We're going to try to keep it kind of short, though, so we can get through the whole bracket, but we'll get right into it. First, the East region here, guys.
Yep.
In my opinion, it's the most difficult region that there is.
Yes. There's a lot of teams I like in this region.
Yeah. I mean, you got the defending champion UConn, which we'll get into here in a second. The national runners-up last year, San Diego State, as a 5. Auburn, the SEC champions, Illinois, the Big Ten champ, and then Iowa State, the Big 12 champ. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough.
You have, arguably the three of the top 4 conferences, conference champions in the same region.
Yep.
That should not be allowed. It's pretty crazy.
No. It's like, congratulations, UConn, for being the top overall seed. Here's the most difficult region of the NCAA tournament.
I would have much rather had Iowa State in the West.
Yeah.
Any other region, honestly, except this one. But it's gonna be a great game if UConn and Iowa State end up playing each other.
Yes, sir. Well, we're gonna get into it now. Every game. So first game, we got the top overall seed, like how we said, UConn playing against Stetson. I think we can all agree.
Yep.
Stetson. No, I'm just kidding.
The UConn Huskies moving on. Now, This is an interesting one here, too, because this is a team I totally glossed over as well. Final Four team from a year ago.
Yeah.
Florida Atlantic as an 8 seed. Northwestern as a 9. I'll leave it to whoever wants to go first, whoever you want to say. Your pick.
Tom, since you're wearing purple.
Heck yeah, I am. Go Purple Raiders. I was thinking about this one, and I kept going back and forth. I am going to go FAU, though.
Okay.
I like Northwestern. I think FAU is overseeded. I mean, they had a decent season, I guess, but didn't win their conference. And I also like Northwestern a lot. I like their guard. Best name in the tournament.
Oh,
Boo Booey.
Boo Booey.
He's got the best name.
Oh, did he get a Boo Booey? Oh.
He's gonna give FAU a lot of Boo Booeys because he's a bucket. He's a really good player. So I got Northwestern.
I was kind of going back and forth on this one too, but I gotta admit I'm going with Tom's direction. I'm going FAU just because of the tournament experience. That's personally why I picked them to go on. They're not gonna go far. They're gonna get.
Yeah, I think either one is getting beat by UConn. UConn is too good.
Yeah, we're gonna go over that kind of here in a second.
Yeah.
Once we get to the next round, but FAU to me they're one and done, but I think they're gonna have enough to get past Northwestern.
Yeah.
San Diego State and UAB.
Yeah. I think this is so easy. San Diego State. I think San Diego State is a very good team.
Okay.
They didn't win the Mountain West, but the Mountain West is my favorite mid-major conference. It is such a good conference. And UAB, I think they're a little. I don't know if they're overseeded, but I don't know. I just am not very high on UAB. I don't know if it's that, or I'm just really high on San Diego State. But I think San Diego State, they also made the Final Four last year, so pretty crazy. These first 3 matchups in the East, yeah, all three of the teams of those 6 teams playing were in the Final Four last year.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. So San Diego State easily for me.
Tom?
For sure. I definitely agree with that. I mean, like you said, Mountain West basketball. I know I was messing with Will the other day about it, just trying to get under his skin a little bit. But it's a
beautiful thing.
It's a heck of a conference.
Good conference.
Mountain West.
San Diego State, they're hard to pick against, especially after last year and their body of work this year.
Yeah, I'm going Aztecs here too. San Diego State. I kind of agree. I think UAB is overseeded. They were the 4th seed in the American Athletic Conference. And then shout out to them. They made an incredible run to win the AAC, but they're a little bit overseeded. I think San Diego State's going to win that one. Auburn and Yale. I mean, I'll go first on this one. I think Auburn's going to win this game pretty easily. Auburn, I'm very, very high on. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts.
For sure.
I'm not too high on Auburn, but I don't know. I don't think I think Auburn will win this.
Yeah.
I really wish Princeton would have made the tournament. I loved Princeton so much. If they would have won their conference, I would have probably picked them to go to like the Sweet 16, depending on who they were playing. But they did not make it. Yale is in, sadly. But Auburn, I guess. Even though I hate Auburn.
All right, then we're gonna go BYU, Duquesne. Duquesne made an incredible run.
Yes.
So I mean,
go Dukes.
Yeah. What are we thinking here?
I got BYU.
Listen, it's hard for me to pick against Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh school, but BYU is clear cut for me.
Yeah, I'm high on BYU too. I understand kind of the BYU slander a little bit because they kind of struggled at times in the Big 12, but they're in the Big 12 and they were competing in the Big 12.
They were in the what? Do you know where they finished in the Big 12? I think they were top 6.
I feel like they were like
which
6,
in the Big 12. We can all agree best conference in college basketball right now.
See, a guy I know calls teams home court merchants sometimes, and at times
it is not BYU.
BYU is like that sometimes. Though,
you think BYU is a home court merchant?
Well, no, I was just saying in Big 12 play because they play well at home and then they'd go on the road and play in the Big 12 and then they'd struggle on the road in the Big 12, which is understandable as their first year in the conference too. And it's Big 12 basketball, but BYU won.
The Cougars finished 5th.
Okay.
Right ahead of Kansas.
Best
and right
conference
behind
I think in all of college basketball this year too. So
yeah,
BYU advance on that.
I really would like Duquesne to win. Duquesne, Day Grant, one of the best scorers in college right now. He is a sensational player.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Dambrad, obviously, I love him. The coach of Duquesne brought them back to the tournament for the first time since 1977. It's a great story, but the Big 12 basketball.
Yep. Now next one, Illinois Morehead State. I think we can kind of all agree. Unless somebody's got a crazy upset, I think Illinois is cruising.
I'm not too high on Illinois, but I think they'll win this.
I agree.
Agree? Okay. Now 7-10 matchup. I don't know. I don't think 7-10 matchups. I think if a 10 seed beats a 7 seed, personally, I just want to put this out there. It's not much of an upset.
No, I don't. I agree. I don't think it's an upset.
Yeah, but Washington State and Drake, let you guys choose. First.
I think this is going to be a great matchup. Yeah, Washington State has had a great year. They got a great story. But I am so high on Drake. A little spoiler, I have Drake in my Elite 8.
There you go.
I am so high on Drake.
That's crazy.
They won the Missouri Valley, which is one of my favorite conferences. I just think they're an excellent team. They last year they were in the tournament, got a tough draw, went out early, but I think this year Drake's gonna go pretty far. They are my kind of pick to go far of a double-digit seed. Yeah.
Thomas?
I got Washington State here.
Oh, the Cougs moving on there. I'm going
to shout out Zach Wilson.
Oh, my God.
I am going to go in the same direction that my dear friend William Moyer is going. I think Drake is going to win. I, too, was very high on the Missouri Valley Conference this year. I thought it was pretty good basketball. So I think Drake, and I agree with you, Drake did have a tough draw last year, and they were good last year, too. I think they could have very well won a tournament game had they gotten a better draw. But I got them beating Washington State.
Washington State's not bad though. They went 4-6 in the conference.
Yeah, no.
Right
this
behind
is going to be. I think this
It's
is
going to be probably the best.
Yeah, one of the best games of the first
round matchup in that region.
I'd agree.
It could be that.
Yeah, probably.
And then last one, Iowa State, South Dakota State again. I think we can probably all agree on this one. Iowa State, they're playing great basketball.
I love Iowa State basketball.
Oh yeah.
I think if they win, whoever they play in the second round, whether it's Washington State or Drake, I think is going to be a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And it pains me to have Iowa State losing in the second round because I think they're so good. But I love Drake, and you got to go out on a limb with at least with a couple picks for your bracket. So yeah. Okay,
so we'll start down there then for the second round then. So Will already mentioned here he's got Drake over Iowa State. I have Drake and Iowa State in a matchup as well. I don't see it that way, though. I see Iowa State beating Drake. But it could be a close game. I really am high on Drake, like genuinely high on Drake. I think they'll give him a good game. Tom, you had Iowa State and Washington State. Who do you think's winning that game?
I got to go Iowa State. I don't know. It sounds like I'm making taking the safe picks based off of seeding. And when I made my bracket the other day, I looked at it. I think I ended up with all like number 1s or number 2s in the Final Four, and I hate that.
No,
I really don't like that, but it just felt like the way the bracket played out this year.
We'll get in. We'll get in. See,
I got to go Iowa State.
All right, next matchup. We all had Illinois BYU, if I'm not mistaken here. So who do we think's winning Illinois and BYU?
I have Illinois in a close one.
Okay.
I in my bracket this year, I tried to just fill it out off off the dome, just like thinking, not thinking too hard, but like I watched a lot of college basketball this year, so I picked Illinois in this, but I think it'll be a very close game. This is a pick I'm not too confident in because I think BYU is a really good team, and I'm not too high on Illinois.
Yeah.
I didn't love the Big Ten this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Illinois.
Tom.
Yeah, like what Will said. I mean, I think it's going to be a tight one, but it's hard to pick against Illinois on this one. I mean, they've been. I don't know. For some reason, I don't really love them, but I mean, they're a good basketball team. They won the Big Ten, if I'm not mistaken. You know, it's they're 14-6 in conference play, so I mean they're built for March.
My opinion, it's not a tough pick to go against Illinois because I'm going against Illinois. I'm going BYU.
Nice.
And it's strictly because kind of like what you said, Will, I'm very down on the Big Ten this year and I'm very high on the Big 12. So I think BYU's already kind of prepared to play a team like Illinois. And I think that I do think it's going to be a close game though too, but I think BYU's going to go to the Sweet 16 in that regard.
All right.
I could see it.
Auburn and San Diego State. We all had that one. What are we thinking?
I got San Diego State.
Okay.
This might be biased because I don't like Auburn. But San Diego State made it to the Final Four last year. I don't know. I like San Diego State.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm going San Diego State.
Wow. I'm going against the grain here again.
Oh.
I am very high on Bruce Pearl. I'm very high on Auburn. They're on a great run right now, winning the SEC. And I got to admit, in one of my brackets, I had them winning the national championship. It's not the one that I'm going to go right
Auburn?
here, but yeah, Auburn.
Wow.
That's how high. I just love the style of basketball. They're very gritty.
No, I
very
do.
Tough.
Bruce Pearl is a great coach.
Yeah.
If he wasn't the coach at Auburn, I would like him and like the team he's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great coach. Started at Milwaukee, went to Tennessee, got fired there for some. I think he was like paying players or something.
Yeah.
Which who cares nowadays?
Yeah.
Great coach. Yeah.
I'm
Bruce
going
Pearl.
Auburn though. I genuinely think Auburn's gonna win against San Diego State.
Yeah.
I don't even. It'll probably be a close game, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn pulls away with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it kind of goes without saying. Like all these, like once you get past the first round, every game is pretty much a good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll be a really good game.
And then UConn, FAU, and then of course UConn Northwestern.
Yeah.
UConn and FAU though, I believe Tom and I could probably agree the Huskies are gonna go victorious in that one, or unless you think the Owls. I don't know. Making a weird face over there.
This is crazy. If you pick, this would be crazy.
You can't. Donovan Klingen's gonna have a
Every,
field
well,
day with everybody.
every year you do get like one of these like 8-9 against one
I
seed
agree.
games where it's like a good game. Like it really comes down to the wire. I mean, happens every couple years where you do get an 8 or 9 beating a 1 seed, but I don't think this is the game.
So you got UConn beating Northwestern as well.
Yes, I like Northwestern, but UConn is just too good. Like they are just they're so good.
Yep. All right. So
Yeah, sorry, I didn't really answer this. I drew a little
hesitated.
blank. I zoned out, but yeah, I think I had UConn winning the national championship. A little spoiler, but
Okay.
Well,
okay.
so here we go. So
there you go. Maybe I'll change that.
So you guys got UConn, San Diego State. I have UConn, Auburn. I'll let you guys go through UConn, San Diego State first.
I mean, I got UConn. I think San Diego State, a good team, but
They're
UConn.
not UConn.
I didn't give it much thought. I mean, UConn is UConn.
Mm-hmm. Go with head, Tom. I almost called you Will, even though Will just talked to me.
Dang,
Well,
man.
it would be an honor to be called Will. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that could be a good upset pick, truthfully.
Redemption for the Aztecs.
Yeah, if San Diego State plays the way they're capable of, I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's hard to pick against UConn, like I said earlier. So
Yeah. And for my matchup, UConn and Auburn, I'm going to put this on the record. I think this is going to be the best game in the NCAA tournament, and I think that the winner of this game, in my opinion, would go on to win the national championship. At least that's what it was in a bunch of my brackets. I think UConn's going to beat Auburn, though, in a very, very, very close game. Because I'm not going to lie. I knew Auburn was going to be like a 3 or a 4 seed, and I was like, they're my 3 or 4 seed that's going to make the Final Four, maybe the national championship, and meet UConn in the national championship game. That's how good and how high I am on Auburn. But when I saw they were in the same region, I'm like, come on, man. I'm going to have to choose one of these. Like, you got to give me a break over here. All right. And then Will already kind of mentioned Drake
Yes.
gonna end up defeating. You had Illinois as your other team.
Yes, I have Drake and Illinois in the Sweet 16 there, and I have Drake winning again.
There you go.
I mean that's just you got to have at least one Cinderella pick.
Yeah.
I'm really high on Drake. They're my pick. Yeah.
And then Tom, you had Illinois and Iowa State. Who do you have in that one?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
It's going to be hell.
I could very easily see Iowa State winning this region. I think Iowa State, I mean, you saw it in the Big 12 championship. They beat Houston by what, 30?
Yep.
I mean, Iowa State, I thought they deserved the 4th 1 seed instead of North Carolina.
Yeah.
If I was making the brackets, I would have had Iowa State as that last 1 seed because of that game and because North Carolina didn't win their conference, obviously, and it was not the best conference. Big 12 is the best conference, but if Iowa State, I could see them. I could see them winning it all, honestly.
Iowa State, BYU for me. Kind of like how you guys were just preaching about Iowa State, how great they are. I mean, I got the Cyclones. They're playing their best basketball right now.
Yes, sir.
Iowa State. And then, of course, so Tom and I have got the same one, Iowa State and UConn right now, kind of going chalk right there, 1-2. And then
I have UConn winning that.
UConn. And
Drake made their run, but they are not going to the Final Four.
I've got UConn too. It could be a closer game, but honestly, I think UConn's just way too good.
Yeah.
Donovan Clingan, I love Donovan Clingan. He's not even their best player on the
Tristan
team.
Newton.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know do they really even have like a best player?
That's how they were last year.
Yeah.
They just like all played together as a team, and Danny
that's
a great coach.
that is the teams that win in March. It's not the teams. Usually not the teams that have like one great player. They can make a run, win a couple games if your best player gets hot.
Yeah.
But the team that wins it all is the team that has a like good all around team, and UConn has that, and that's why I think they're the most picked right now for winning the championship, which makes sense. I mean, they won it last year.
Rightfully so. Tom, do you got UConn beating Iowa State?
This is going to be another great matchup, assuming it happens. But like I said earlier, it's just so hard to pick against UConn. But like, I mean, if there's any upset of UConn,
Iowa State could be a good one.
That would be a good pick.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, so we're unanimous, though, boys. UConn winning the East region. So we're going to get back to the Final Four once we go through kind of all the regions here. The West now. This one, a little bit lower, but we got top seed North Carolina over Wagner. I think we can all agree the Tar Heels come away victorious on that one.
Yeah,
as a 1
definitely.
Seed. 8 and a 9. I'm kind of intrigued by this matchup a lot. Mississippi State, Michigan State. What are we thinking?
Mississippi State is gonna beat Michigan State. I think Michigan State is overrated. I think Mississippi State is a pretty good team. Play great defense. I don't know. I mean, Michigan State, they only won 19 games. I mean, they really don't have any good wins. Honestly, I wouldn't even have Michigan State in. So, I'm picking Mississippi State.
Okay. Tom, Mississippi State or Michigan?
But it is Tom Izzo, so who knows? It's hard to pick against him, but I don't think this is the same teams that they've had.
I didn't like Michigan State really getting into the tournament, truthfully. But, I mean, like you said, it's hard to pick against Tom Izzo. But Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to go against you guys. I'm going Michigan State. I feel like Michigan State's had teams like this in the past where like, they don't play good in the regular season and Izzo gets them prepared for
Didn't
the
they make the Final Four with
like
a 7 seed? I think it was a 7. Yeah.
I know it was like a lower seed where
if any team's going to do it, it's them. And I think honestly, I feel like North Carolina is kind of weak. I think this could be one of those 8-9 upset or keep it close. I think that's one. Yeah. That's one of two that I have in this year's bracket that I think the 8 or 9 could upset.
Yeah, I agree. Now, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon, the 5-12 matchup. I personally think it's going to be a great game, but
I do too.
What are you boys thinking?
The committee always every year does this where they have two mid-major teams up against each other as like the 5-12, and I hate that they do it because I love when mid-major teams go far, but I really like Grand Canyon this year. Okay. They play great basketball. I have Grand Canyon winning this game. And I do like St. Mary's. My first draft of my bracket, I had St. Mary's winning the West. I mean, but then I was like, no. I mean, I really like Grand Canyon, and I mean, I don't know. I watched St. Mary's a lot at the beginning of the season, and obviously they played bad at the beginning of the season, and then they kind of came back and started playing better, similar to Gonzaga, also in the West Coast Conference. But I don't know. I'm just not convinced of St. Mary's. It's just something in my brain. And I like the Grand Canyon upset. I think they've had a great season.
All right, Tom, we think an upset, or are we going St. Mary's on your part?
See, it's hard for me not to pick an upset here. Truly, it really is. But I think I'm going to go St. Mary's.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know. Once St. Mary's got rolling a little bit, I thought they were pretty solid. And, yeah, I mean, that's my pick. Like I said earlier, I hate picking all these, like, perceived, like, higher seeds. But, that's one of those ones where I'm just, I don't know. I don't see enough from Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going right there with you, Tom. I think St. Mary's going to win this game, but not without Grand Canyon given a great matchup. But I think St. Mary's is one of those mid-major teams where they've always been good for a while, but now I think they have confidence because they were able to get over Gonzaga, especially, too. I think that they're going to be riding into March very, very high.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of St. Mary's. Also, and I know he don't play for them, but shout out Matthew Dellavedova. That's how I even
Yes,
found out who St. Mary's was. Shout out
Yes,
Delly.
sir.
He was great at St. Mary's. So
He
shout out Delly.
was.
And then
he was.
Alabama and College of Charleston. What are you thinking?
I got Alabama. I'm an Alabama fan, obviously.
Yes.
I don't like Alabama's team this year at all. Their defense is so bad. They don't have like the thing that made their team so good was they had like a great defensive stopper who could just carry a defense, like Herb Jones. Obviously, he was an amazing defender, and he's still an amazing defender in the NBA. But I just don't like Alabama's team this year. I mean, I think they're going to beat Charleston, but spoiler, I have Grand Canyon beating Alabama in the second round because I just don't. I think any team could put up like at least 80 on Alabama. That's how bad their defense is. Florida put up 102 on them in the SEC tournament, and Kentucky put up 117 on them in the regular season. I mean, that's crazy. 117. Yeah, that's all. Bama's winning though. But 117. Just I can't get that out of my head. They got 117 points scored on them in one game.
Alrighty then.
Bama.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. I wrote it down in my bracket as just Bama.
Just Bama.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. I think I'm going with y'all too. Although I
Yeah.
was very tempted to pick Charleston because I'm not high on Alabama.
Yeah, I would
tempted.
not. I think this is going to be a trendy upset pick, and I would not be too surprised if it happens.
Yeah. So I'm going Bama in this regard though too.
Yeah.
Clemson, New Mexico.
I think New Mexico is going to wipe the floor with Clemson. I think Clemson is not very good. I think New Mexico was the team that was like on the bubble that I was like, I need them to make it in. They were like, I wanted them in so bad, and then thankfully they won the Mountain West because the committee said if they didn't win, they weren't going to be in, which is crazy.
Yeah.
They are an amazing team, but New Mexico is in. They are playing their best basketball right now. Obviously, they beat they won the Mountain West, which is a tough conference, and I really like New Mexico. I like how they play. They play so fun. And I'm not high on Clemson. The ACC as a whole, I think, is down. So, New Mexico. This is easy for me.
I agree. That's my big upset pick out of the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Lobo Nation as well. New Mexico over Clemson.
Let's go Lobos.
Yes, let's go Lobos. I'm going New Mexico. I'm very high on them as well. Baylor and Colgate. I believe we probably all agree.
Baylor.
On this. Baylor Bears.
Baylor.
Shout out Baylor.
Yep.
Dayton and Nevada. I'm going back and forth on this one, guys, but I'll let you guys pick which one.
I got Nevada. I am low on Dayton. I think the national media was like at the beginning of the season they were like, "Oh, this Dayton team is really good."
Mm-hmm.
And they just rode that, and Dayton is not very good. They finished in third in the A10.
Yeah.
Didn't even make it to the A10 semifinals. They got beat by Duquesne, and Duquesne dominated that game. I think we're gonna see that Dayton is just not a very good team. The A10 was not very good this year, and they still were not able to win it. I mean, they do have Deron Holmes, who's I think a great player, but no, I mean, I think Nevada is the better team. I think Dayton is. I think they should have been a bubble team, honestly, and they were never even considered, which I think is crazy because, I mean, they had a good start to the season and then just didn't do much. But yeah, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I think in one bracket I actually ended up picking Dayton, but I'm rethinking it now. Dayton finished third in the A10, like you said, not a very good conference. Nevada finished third in the Mountain West. Those are two.
Yeah.
They're both third, but those are very different thirds.
Yeah.
So on this one, I'm going Nevada.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of high on Dayton before the A10 tournament, and then they they really played bad in the A10 tournament. So that's what caused me to go back and forth because I was going in with the mindset of, okay, I could see Dayton being a mid-major school that might win a game or two, but now I don't see it that way. I'm going Nevada in this regard just because of that. So
Yes,
I think
sir.
Nevada's gonna beat Dayton in that one.
Wolfpack.
Oh yeah, Arizona and Long Beach State. I think we can all agree.
Arizona.
Long Beach.
Got
thank
Zona.
you.
Arizona. What, you got Long Beach State?
It took you a second. No, I'm just playing. That's
I don't
a great
like
story.
I don't like Arizona very much though.
Yeah.
I like Long Beach State a lot more.
Yeah.
One of Akron's best, my favorite Akron guard ever, Lauren Christian Jackson,
Yeah.
played his first season at Long Beach State and then he transferred to Akron.
There we go.
Fun fact, Lauren Christian Jackson, 5'8" beast.
Fun fact. Fun fact indeed.
I'm a big fan of Dan Monson.
Yeah.
Oh, he's working for free right
Yeah.
now. Bro. He's working
His press
for
conference
free.
today was funny. He was like, I'm not answering any questions I don't want to answer because I'm coaching for free. That was funny.
I read a story. They were doing the day it was announced that they were going to part ways. They were supposed to watch film. He gave them an option, just take the day or actually watch film. They decided to watch film, and he was like, "See, you see that defense? We didn't even contest the shot. That's what gets a coach fired." That's what he said. I'm
That's
like,
funny,
That's
bro.
hilarious. That's my guy. I think Arizona wins, but I'm rooting for Long Beach State.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for Long Beach State too. Have you ever seen their arena?
No.
It's like a pyramid.
Wow.
It's really cool. I want to go there someday.
Shout out
Long Beach.
State, but they're
Yeah.
going to get clapped by Arizona. That's
I don't know.
Whoa,
I think
whoa.
you're too high on Arizona.
Well,
They've been bad recently.
let's go Zona and
Okay,
Nevada. Who do
okay.
we think? I
have
going
Arizona.
I'm Zona.
Sadly, I have Arizona, but I was very tempted.
Very tempting indeed. New Mexico and Baylor. We kind of all got the same picture.
I got Baylor, but I think this is going to be an amazing game because I am really high on both these teams.
Yeah.
I really like New Mexico. If they were playing like pretty much almost any other team in this region, I would have them winning. I honestly think these are the two best teams in the region. I mean, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But sadly they play in the second round. So, but I got Baylor. I think Baylor is really, really good. Like them a lot.
Tom.
Baylor.
Go
Baylor.
Bears.
I'm going against the grain. I'm going New Mexico.
Ooh, let's
Whoa.
go. I like that pick a lot. I do like that pick a lot.
I watched them a little bit playing a conference tournament, and I was a big fan of how they
Over
played
my
basketball.
thought process, I had 3 different teams
Yeah.
winning this region.
Mhm.
First, it was St. Mary's, then it was New Mexico, and I won't say yet who it currently is, but
Okay.
those New Mexico. At a point, I had them as my favorite team in this region, which is a soft region.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going New Mexico.
Yeah,
Go Lobos.
I love that. I love that upset pick.
Oh yeah. And then so Will, you got Grand Canyon, Alabama.
Yeah.
Tom and I got St. Mary's in Alabama.
I have Grand Canyon winning again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will.
Yep.
Whoa.
I told you I'm high on Grand Canyon and I'm low on Alabama.
I mean, I'm low on Alabama, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm going St. Mary's. just
Yeah.
because of that. Like I'm high on St. Mary's.
If
very
it
low
was
on
St.
Alabama.
Mary's or Grand Canyon, I would be picking either of those teams
Yeah.
over Alabama.
Tom.
I don't know. The SEC is the SEC.
Alabama
is-
really struggled on the stretch. I'm like,
I don't-
I'm
Oh,
not.
I agree.
I'm
They
not-
suck.
I mean, I think this is going to be a great matchup. But I am going St. Mary's.
For what it's worth, my
Go
grandma
Bulls.
picked Alabama to win the national title.
She's not
That's
biased
crazy.
at all.
No, she's not at all.
All right.
She knows ball.
Oh yeah. We got North Carolina and Mississippi State for you two. North Carolina and Michigan State for me. I'm
Yep.
going Tar Heels personally,
Yep.
but I definitely think Michigan State can give them a game.
Yeah,
What do you guys?
I think this is one of the two games that it could be a close 1 versus 8 or 9 matchup.
Mhm.
I do have North Carolina winning, but I think Mississippi State can give them a game at least. I'm not too high on North Carolina.
By far the weakest 1 seed,
Yes.
but I'm still taking them.
Yeah.
Tar Heels. Okay, so Tar Heels, and then Will's got Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I got St. Mary's. Did you pick? I'm so sorry. I can't even remember. Did you pick Alabama over St. Mary's, or would you?
I
End
took
up
St. Mary's.
You ended up taking
Okay.
St. Mary's. You got me all confused when you said SEC. But St. Mary's and North Carolina for Tom and I, and then Will has got North Carolina going up against Grand Canyon. Who do we think here?
I have North Carolina.
Grand
I mean,
Canyon's
Grand Canyon had their run. Even if North Carolina, I think North Carolina would beat any of these teams that they could be playing. If it's St. Mary's or Alabama, I mean, I think North Carolina will beat any of them.
Okay. Tom? I can go if you're still thinking about it.
Yeah, I need to.
Because I'm dead set on this. St. Mary's.
Oh, let's go.
Gales. 5 seed.
Let's go
in the
Gales.
I mean, I already mentioned it when their first round matchup. I'm so
Love that
high on
upset.
St. Mary's.
I love that upset.
I just think they are so confident right now.
Yes.
Coming into this tournament, and I think they're going to make a run at least to the
Won
Elite
the
Eight.
West Coast.
St. Mary's. There we go. Elite Eight.
Love that pick.
Oh yeah.
You got a good bracket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're talking St. Mary's in North Carolina.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Listen. I don't remember what I had in my bracket, but based off of what my heart tells me right now, at this moment, it's 7:19 on a Wednesday.
Just pick your team.
Quit waxing
St.
poetic.
Mary's, let's go.
St. Mary's.
Let's go Gales. Let's go Gales.
The Tar Heels, they're not ready for this.
All right.
Do we all have Baylor, Arizona?
I got New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, you did pick New Mexico.
I think New Mexico's run. I'm just going to get mine off. New Mexico's run's over with Arizona.
Oh, really?
Arizona's moving on.
Dang.
To the Elite Eight.
I have Baylor beating Arizona.
Okay.
I have, yeah,
Okay.
Baylor.
Tom?
Yeah, I don't have a clear-cut winner on this one, but I mean, it's really a toss-up for me. But I think I'm gonna go Arizona, but I feel like I feel like that's wrong, but I'm gonna run with it.
Okay. So
I don't like Arizona. I saw them play USC and lose.
Yeah.
And it was just
that was a rough game.
when Arizona's bad, they're so bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
All
but
right.
yeah, championship. Who do you guys have?
We got Arizona and St. Mary's. Tom, if you want to go first, or I can go first if you haven't made up your mind.
Gales.
Oh my goodness.
Gales
gracious.
to the Final Four.
Gales and UConn in that first matchup.
Wow.
For me though, Gales' run ends in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
Arizona. I like Arizona's depth. I like them a lot.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna get to the national championship game, so
Okay.
I guess I spoiled already my Final
Yeah.
Four prediction. But they'll make it in a weak West region. I think.
Yeah, and I have Baylor winning,
Okay.
beating North Carolina,
Baylor beating North
and again a weak West. I do
Three
think
different picks.
I do think Baylor is the best team in this region, but I'm not too confident on it. I think there's, I don't know. I think this region has some other good teams like New Mexico. I mean, North Carolina could go on a run.
Mhm.
They're just teams that I think are inconsistent
Yeah.
and not teams I'm confident in. Baylor, I would say I'm the most confident in that they could go on a run. Like the East has so many teams who I'm confident they could, or like that teams I think are consistent.
Mhm.
But the West, I don't know, just doesn't have that as much. Which, I mean, that makes it more interesting.
I mean,
So,
we'll
yeah.
move on to what's hopefully a better region than the South. We'll move on to the
Yes.
South region, so the other side of the bracket. Halfway done here.
Yep.
We got Houston and Longwood. I think we're all in agreement. The Houston
Houston.
Cougars
Yep.
over Longwood. Thank you for attending the dance, Longwood. Then we got Nebraska and Texas A&M. This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah. I got Nebraska.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I haven't watched much of these teams, honestly, but I don't know. I like Nebraska.
Tom?
Nebraska folded big time in their semifinal matchup. I believe it was Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, they
wanna
played
say.
Illinois.
Yeah, but I don't exactly have a ton of faith in Texas A&M either. But they did beat Kentucky, so I'm going Texas A&M.
I too am going Aggie Nation, Texas A&M, and I don't think Houston wants any part of Texas A&M, but we'll get into that.
Go Huskers.
Wisconsin and James Madison in the 5-12 matchup. I'll let you guys go ahead first.
JMU, baby.
I want the
Let's
Dukes.
Go.
I want
Let's
the Dukes
go.
as well.
Give
We're
us
all
the
in
Dukes.
We're all in agreement on an upset here.
Go Dukes.
The Dukes are a good basketball team. They're very good.
I
this
saw
year.
the Dukes play Kent State. I was live at that game.
Yeah.
Great game. Maybe one of the best games I've seen this year live.
Yeah.
Went in double overtime and James Madison won against the Kent State team who was playing really well at the time.
Yeah.
JMU.
And Wisconsin's so hot and
Shout
cold.
out to JMU.
I know Wisconsin just made the Big Ten championship game, but they're so hot and cold this
I don't
year.
care about Wisconsin.
I don't care about Wisconsin either. Let's go JMU.
Take it or leave it with
Dukes.
Wisconsin.
Speaking
Give me
of
the
Dukes, we got Duke and Vermont.
Yeah.
In the 4-13. What are we thinking? Duke, Vermont.
It's not close.
Duke,
Yeah.
sadly.
I think Duke,
Sadly.
too. But I do think Vermont could maybe make it a game. I think Duke's very vulnerable this year.
People think, like, oh, Vermont, like, they always make the tournament. Do they ever do anything in the tournament? I mean,
No.
they've won it 5 straight years, but they've never done anything with being in it. I mean, shout out Vermont, like, for a mid-major team making it 5 straight years. That's an amazing accomplishment. But I think Duke just has too much star power.
Yeah, Duke's one of those teams that I feel like can go very hot or cold.
Yes.
Just depending on the night.
Yes.
But, I mean, I think
Jared
Duke.
McCain. I like Jared McCain a lot.
Yeah.
But I hate Kyle Filipowski a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So 6-11, Texas Tech. And then the red-hot North Carolina State Wolfpack that just won the ACC out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Who do we think in this one?
I think this is, like, one of the best games of the first round.
Yeah.
But the thing about NC State, they had their run, but now they've had, like, a couple days off, and I think they're just not going to have the same momentum they had. I love their big man, DJ Burns. He is an inspiration. But I got Texas Tech. Texas Tech is just too good.
Yeah.
I like Texas Tech a lot. They play good ball.
Will, you said they had their run, and I don't think their run is over. NC State.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier before we started.
I don't hate
recording.
that pick, though. I think this game is going to be really close.
NC State just won 5 games in 5 days, and then they had a couple days of rest. I just think the fatigue is going to catch up to them. I really do.
I don't even know if it's fatigue. I just think, like, momentum.
They got to be so drained right now doing that.
Yeah.
The only team that I've ever really seen go on an incredible run like that and then actually win.
Didn't UConn do that with Kemba?
Yes, you were cardiac Kemba.
Okay.
My favorite college basketball player of all time. My favorite college basketball team, I would say.
Yes.
Of all time. I love that team.
Was that 2009? Was that when they beat Pitt?
2011.
I think, yeah.
I think it was 2011. They beat Butler, I know, in the Natty that year. And then they went a couple years later and beat Julius Randle in Kentucky in the national championship. But I'm going to go Texas Tech on that one.
Yeah. Speaking of Kentucky
and Oakland, I'm going Kentucky. I don't need to say anything
Kentucky.
else about that. They're going to score like 100 points on Oakland.
Kentucky.
the
I
same?
love Rob Dillingham. He is maybe my favorite player in college right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's so fun to watch.
All right, and then
I didn't give my pick.
Okay.
You didn't even
Who's
give
your-
me
Oh.
a pick. No, I'm kidding. Kentucky.
all right, then we're going to go 7 seed Florida against either Colorado or Boise State. At the time that this podcast is being recorded, that game is not in action yet. So who do we think?
I'm going to be at this game.
Yeah.
I got Florida. I'm pretty high on Florida. I think Florida's a really good team. They played really well in the SEC tournament. They've played they've been playing well recently. Going down the stretch in conference play.
Yeah.
I like Boise State. Kind of, I guess. I don't know. I think they're in because they're with the Mountain West and they are one of like the top teams in the Mountain West. But I think Florida's a better team than them. So I got Florida.
Tom?
I don't love Florida, but kind of the opposite of Will. I don't really like Boise State or Colorado, so I'm going Florida.
I too am going Florida. I think the Gators are going to win this game. And then let's go Marquette, Western Kentucky. Do we think
Marquette?
You think Marquette?
Yes.
I'm very high on Marquette. Very, very high on Marquette.
Yep.
I like Marquette.
Let's go to the next round.
Let's go next round. Marquette, Florida.
Give me the Gators.
Okay.
Really?
Give me the
We got
Gators.
the 7.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Tom,
Florida
you
Gators.
going upset or no?
I don't know how I can in this one.
Tyler Kolek hasn't been with the team.
That's true.
I'm going Marquette for this round. We'll see. Let's see about the Sweet 16.
I as well am going to go Marquette. I love the Big East basketball, so I think Marquette's going to make the Sweet 16.
I like Big East basketball. I don't like Marquette.
I'm going Marquette.
They lost to Michigan State last year in the second round. As a 2 seed, I was there.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen again. I'm going to witness a 7-2 again with Florida beating Marquette
Yeah.
instead of Michigan State beating Marquette. But, yeah.
There we go. All right.
That was last year, though. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Tyler Kolek's still there.
We live in the day.
We're going to start with you on this next one here, Tom. Since you are the only one with the NC State, Kentucky. NC State or Kentucky? Who are you picking?
Please take NC State. That would be awesome.
Listen,
That's a good pick. I don't hate that pick. Go on
He wants
7
NC
wins
State.
and like
I-
7 wins.
I could see him picking NC State in his mind.
Just
right
tell us. Just
I-
tell us.
now. No hesitation.
I met Coach Calipari earlier this year.
What?
Yeah, I did. He's a dog.
What?
Oh,
you met
I
you
did.
met John Calipari?
Unrelated. I did. Shout out him.
Okay.
He's from my hometown. Shout out.
Oh.
Shout out him.
Okay.
Shout out Moon, PA. But Wolfpack, baby, let's go.
All right.
Let's go. No, I'm here for it. It's crazy. I'm gonna look like an idiot by Sunday afternoon, but I'm here for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Kentucky, Texas Tech.
I have Texas Tech, but I think whoever wins this game is making it to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
Texas Tech or Kentucky.
I'm in agreement with you.
I
about
think
that.
I think Kentucky could go on a run,
Mhm.
or they could lose in this round. But I'm just because of that feeling that they're not super consistent. They've played really well this season against teams, but they've also had a lot of bad games. So, yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech.
All right.
Calipari, weird coach. he recruits so well, but they
never do anything.
they don't win very much.
No.
It's a weird little thing to think about.
I am going to go with Coach Calipari in this one, though.
Okay.
I'm going to go Kentucky. I think their offense is very high-powered.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to get past Texas Tech in this round. I'm decently more confident than normal, I would have to say, on Kentucky. Duke and James Madison, the Dukes versus Duke.
I have to take Duke. The
I-
Blue Devils.
I will as well.
Sadly,
Tom, do you agree?
I want to take James Madison.
JMU.
Good, thank
Let's
you.
go.
No, that's
That's a good pick.
I
That's a
wish
good
I wish I
upset.
had I wish I had the courage to take that pick, but I don't.
Listen, it's gonna be great, and I already screwed myself by picking NC State, so I might as well go all in. JMU, let's go, baby.
All right.
Book it
You two got Houston, Nebraska.
Yeah,
What are we thinking?
Houston.
easily.
Yeah.
Houston, Texas A&M for me. I'm not going to lie, gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Please do it.
Don't.
Yes.
Don't
Jacob.
troll
On
me.
December 16th, 2023, in Houston, when the Cougars were ranked second in the country, Texas A&M scared the living daylights out of them, and they only won 70-66 over Texas A&M in that matchup. Give me the Aggies.
Let's go.
Wow.
I don't have it picked on any of my brackets because
Wow.
I don't have the courage that I do right now when don't have any money down. And I think
Okay, that doesn't count.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
No, that does not count.
No,
That does not
I'm going
count.
Texas A&M. I'm going Texas A&M.
That doesn't count.
I'm going Texas A&M. I don't have them in the Elite Eight in like my main bracket.
Okay, but this does. Okay, this is my main bracket.
Okay, that's fine. You're doing your approach. I just changed my mind like on the spot.
Wow. Then you have to change it in your brackets.
Okay, I'll change it in my bracket.
Jacob,
I need proof. I need proof of that
Okay.
Let's go.
tomorrow when the brackets lock. I need proof that you picked Texas A&M over Houston.
Okay, I'll do it in at least one of my brackets because I change up my brackets. I don't have
One that costs money.
Okay, yeah, one that costs money. I will do that. I
Okay.
promise you that. Texas A&M though.
Wow. This is I don't like to hate on picks. That's a terrible pick.
Okay, that's
Houston
fine.
is so good.
That's fine. That's why it's madness. That's why it is
Okay.
madness.
Okay.
All right. Houston and Duke. Houston, James Madison, and we all got different matchups here. Texas A&M and Duke.
Jesus. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Those two teams playing in the Sweet 16 is gross.
Well, I'm going Blue Devils in my matchup. Going Duke.
Yeah, I have Houston Duke. I'm taking Houston.
Okay.
Easily.
I had JMU Houston.
You did. Yes.
If you take JMU, I mean, I don't know. That's crazy. If you do.
I'm changing it right now. on
Listen,
my own
I
bracket.
Thank you.
I respect you for that, Jacob.
Thank you.
Good.
I love the Dukes, but I don't love them against the Cougars.
Yeah.
Go Houston.
Yep. Houston's too good. Okay. What's next? Did we already do? Okay.
We got
Texas.
Kentucky. You got Texas Tech
And Florida.
And Florida. And then I've got Kentucky and Marquette. And then Vengeance over here has got North Carolina State going against Marquette. I'm going to keep mine short. Kentucky. I think they're going to the Elite Eight.
Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech beating
wait.
Florida, making it to the
Hold
Elite
up,
Eight.
hold up. Before we go any
Okay.
further, I just want to let this be known. I didn't even realize I did this on the one main bracket. You guys can see this as visual proof. I didn't even change that just now.
Jeez.
I had Texas A&M. Texas A&M over Houston.
Disgusting. That is such a disgusting
Let's
pick.
go. Let's go.
I hate that
I'm
pick.
actually trying to change my bracket right now, and it won't let me.
It's okay.
It won't let me sign in. ESPN doesn't want me to win.
Okay, but who you got going?
They're ops. What I had NC State and Marquette.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so close to talking myself into
Oh my
NC
God.
State. I'm so close.
There's just no way. There's just
There is a way. This is March.
no.
Oh my goodness.
Marquette.
Okay.
I thought about it though.
Yeah.
I got myself for a second.
So what's each of our Elite Eight matchups? I have Houston, Texas Tech.
I have Kentucky.
Little Big 12 battle.
Kentucky and Duke.
I think I have
Blitz.
Houston Marquette.
I'm gonna keep mine short again. Kentucky going back to the Final Four for the first time in a while.
Wow.
And I just think I mean I just
You
think
like
this is gonna be
Kentucky? Do
crazy.
you like Kentucky that much?
I like their offense a lot, and then I just think they're gonna get past their region, and then since I don't have Houston, if Houston would be in that spot, Houston would beat them. But I don't think Duke's beating them. So Kentucky.
Wow. Yeah, I have Houston beating Texas Tech.
Okay.
Houston.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Houston Marquette. Like it's hard for me to pick Houston, but that's what I'm gonna run with here. Like I mean they're. I don't know. I just feel like they're not always. I don't feel like they always rise to the occasion. And obviously the Elite Eight's a huge stage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Marquette either. So I'm gonna go Houston.
So we got 2 Houstons and a Kentucky that is going for the South region.
Go Houston.
There we go. And then who they will be playing the final region, the Midwest right now. Top seeded Purdue is going to be playing either Montana State or Grambling, which at the halftime break in the first 4 right now in that matchup. Montana State's on top 42-33.
I want
Winner of that
Grambling to
matchup
win.
goes and gets destroyed by Purdue, who I'm sure's got vengeance on their mind for losing to the
Yeah.
16th seed last year. I'm going Purdue.
Yes, Purdue. Easy.
It's not going to be an FDU situation.
I don't think so.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. For sure. Utah State, TCU, 8-9 matchup.
I
I
am
don't
in
think it's
love with
particularly
Utah
close.
State.
I'm in love with Utah State, too. I think they're going to
Great Osabor.
Yeah.
He is my favorite big man in college basketball right now, maybe. Besides Enrique Freeman,
Go Aggies.
obviously.
Utah State.
Yeah, go Aggies.
I think in my bracket I may or may not have picked TCU.
Bruh.
I have. These are 2 teams I haven't watched a lot and I don't really know that well.
Yep.
But I mean, as an 8-9, I mean I think it's gonna be close, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't think TCU is a bad team by any means. I just am in love with Utah State.
Even if they win, there's no way they're making it to the Sweet 16.
I don't know.
I'm going. All right, I'll stick with my bracket. I'll go TCU.
Okay. I think Utah State got underseeded. They were the number 1 team in the Mountain West in the regular season, and they got the 8 seed. I thought they should have had at least like a 6.
Yeah.
Like, how did Clemson get a 6 and they get an 8? That's atrocious.
That's valid.
That's atrocious. But
Yeah.
whatever. You can't sit here all day and just complain about seeding. Doesn't matter a whole lot, I guess. I mean, it does, but whatever.
We'll move on to the 5-12 matchup. Gonzaga and McNeese.
Give me the Zags. I'm very low on McNeese. People are like claiming this as an upset pick because McNeese has 30 wins. But if you go and look at their non-conference, they played like a bunch of non-NCAA schools. Like, I mean, McNeese has 30 wins. Will Wade has done a great job. I mean, I will never hate on a team for winning their conference, but I don't think they deserve a 12 seed, and I don't think they're going to beat Gonzaga. I'm high on Gonzaga. Yeah.
Okay. Tom?
So I'm trying to look at their like non-conference schedule.
Yeah,
McNeese.
it's bad.
They lost to Michigan. I'm trying to look.
Who's a bad team.
Yeah, they lost to Louisiana Tech. I don't know. That may be a conference matchup, but
I don't think
it may
so.
not be. They beat UAB. They really outside of that, those are the only like. They played Louisiana. That may be a Southland school though, but regardless, they haven't really played anybody. Shout out Will Wade. He's done a phenomenal job there turning that program around, and I respect the heck out of it. But I mean, it's hard to go with them. So Gonzaga, for sure.
Yep.
Book it.
Book it for me. Give me McNeese State. I'm
What?
going McNeese.
Oh
What?
no.
I'm going McNeese.
Do you want to look at who they played?
I don't care who they play.
They played the College of
What?
Biblical Studies.
That's fun.
They played
Who?
Champion
McNeese.
Christian.
I'm going
Who?
McNeese.
What? Will, are those even real schools? Somebody check this right now.
Yes. They played La Turnau.
You're going to be
What?
very mad at me about the
They
next.
played the Mississippi University for women.
McNeese. I'm
They
going
played the
McNeese.
Mississippi University for women.
That's fine.
Jacob.
That's fine.
There's no way they have
That's
a.
madness.
There's no wait. So they played
Madness.
a wait. Did they play a
McNeese.
women's basketball team? There's no way they.
I don't know, but they beat them 92-23.
God, I would hope it would. It
McNeese
should have been a shutout.
State.
What are we talking about?
It's probably. I would venture to say it's probably a men's team, but
All right.
If
First off, if
Hey, let's
you're
move on.
if you're a
Let's move
guy
on.
going to a school for
Let's move
women,
on. No, let's move on. Let's move on.
I'm
Let's move
sorry.
on.
I'm
sorry, but that should have been a shutout. If
that
you
is
played.
why I was like, maybe McNeese could win, and then I saw that's who their non-conference was, and I was like, okay, I'm not taking this team
Go
seriously.
McNeese.
They
That-
played the College of
Jacob,
Biblical
I'm
Studies.
taking them seriously.
Jacob,
McNeese. Give me
that-
McNeese.
Gosh.
That's even crazier than me picking
That's fine.
NC State. That's wild.
Okay,
Kansas and
on to the
Samford.
next. Kansas,
Samford.
I could see this as an upset.
I can see this as a
Samford plays very quick.
Yeah.
Kansas.
But Kansas.
I think Kansas too, but I think Kansas's injuries are going to make
Yeah.
this very interesting.
Yeah.
Kansas for me.
Yeah.
South Carolina and Oregon.
South Carolina. Oregon won the conference, won the Pac-12, which is not that great this year.
Yeah.
Oregon, I guess, or not Oregon. U.S.
South Carolina.
South Carolina, I guess. Whatever. I don't like either of these teams, honestly.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll be on the spot. I'll be at this game. As a matter of fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the second game that I see on
Yes.
Thursday. South Carolina for sure. It's not close.
I'm 50-50 on this one, but I'm leaning towards Oregon. I'm going Oregon on this one. But
I don't hate that upset. I just I don't care about either of these teams.
Yeah, I don't think both of them are going to do it.
Okay.
Creighton and Akron.
Will, I know this one hurts you.
This hurts.
Let me wax poetic about this Akron team. This team, they stuck together through so much hardship, through so much adversity to make it to the NCAA tournament, and then they get a 14 seed and they draw Creighton, who is they're so good. And I am in a legacy year in terms of bracket picking. Last year, I finished last among my family, among my friends, and I need to have a good bracket this year. And I am so high on Creighton. I'll say it now. I have Creighton in my Final Four. I want Akron to win so bad, but it is going to take so much luck. This Creighton team is so good. They have a great big man in Ryan Kalkbrenner. They have a great guard in, what's his name? Baylor Shireman. They have a great guard wing. They're a tall team. Akron's not that tall. Enrique Freeman's only 6'7". I want to win so bad, but I don't know. And if Akron wins, I won't care about my bracket because Akron won their first NCAA tournament game ever. And if Creighton wins, then
you're chilling.
I'll
It's a
be
win-win,
yeah,
low key.
yeah.
Even though you don't want Akron to lose, but it's a win-win for you.
And they're playing close to home, might I add. All they had to
going to Indy.
All they had to do was take a little bus over to Pittsburgh.
I'll be there.
12.5 point underdogs. Hammer Akron, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to talk betting. But sadly Creighton. But this Akron team, this senior class, probably my favorite Akron class ever.
Mm-hmm.
They won 3 championships in 5 years. 5 years because of the COVID year, which in 2020 they won the conference. We're about to play in the tournament. They were warming up on the court for the first round of the MAC tournament, and the games got canceled.
Yep.
They would have won that. They would have won that MAC tournament, and they would have won a game in the NCAA tournament. I guarantee that was the best Akron team I've ever watched. But they only won the regular season, but that counts as a MAC title. So this Akron class has won 3 titles: 2020, 2022, and 2024. So God bless this Akron class.
Shout out Akron, but they did get the crappiest draw ever.
Yes.
Creighton's
I wanted Illinois.
Will, where would you have seeded them?
Akron?
13.
Yeah.
I would say
Realistically.
I would say 13. I would have had them in that 13 over Yale. I think the other 13 seeds are good. I think Vermont. They had a good season, won their conference. I'm not too mad about being seeded below them. Samford, another team who had a great season. Akron would have had a 13 had they not blown it at the end of the regular season. They lost to Eastern Michigan and I think I forget if it's Western or Central. They got the same colors. I always get them confused. Doesn't matter. Both teams were not very good, and we lost to them, and that dropped us down. We had some bad losses. I would have liked to have that 13 seed over Yale, but I'm not mad about the other 3. Charleston, Samford, and Vermont. I'm not too upset about those other 13 seeds being above us. But whatever. It's nothing you can do.
As I guess today our missing co-host is Ali Legacy game.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh, man.
No, I can't pick Akron. I'm
Sadly.
I'm going Creighton.
Yeah.
It's.
I think Akron will keep it close. We have such an experienced team. I think we will give them a good game, and it's gonna break my little heart, and I'm gonna be so sad because we're gonna be so close.
Will, you just read my mind. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna be so sad.
Blue Jays moving on there.
Yeah.
Texas, Colorado State. I gotta admit, my decision might be changed after what I watched last night, but I don't know.
You watched them play a terrible team.
But
You watched Colorado State play a terrible team.
Virginia shouldn't have been.
I was kind of high
Yeah.
on Colorado State though, a little bit. I
Yeah.
didn't think they were gonna be on the bubble. Like I
didn't
let me
think they
rephrase.
should have been
I
either.
didn't think they were gonna be in the first 4. Is what I.
Yeah,
meant.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think they were. I didn't think they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm still going Texas. But Colorado State swayed me a
I
little
am
bit closer.
high
towards
on Texas.
I'm
Give
pretty
me
high. I like
Texas.
Texas too.
Max Asmus, Dylan DeSue.
Max has been there too. Oral
Yeah.
Roberts. He's been there
Yeah.
before. He's been to the.
Some might forget.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Texas winning this game.
Horns up.
Horns up. Tennessee and St.
I
Peter's.
was horns down, I must say. Now that they're in the SEC, horns down.
Yes.
Especially since they beat Alabama.
Yes. Tennessee and St. Peter's. We don't got Dougie Mustache, whatever
No.
you want to call him anymore.
He wasn't even that good. He was like their 4th best scorer, but everyone liked him. Everyone loved him because he was just like a white guy.
Tennessee.
But I can't. I mean, everyone loves a cold white boy. So,
Let's go Volunteers.
St.
Yeah.
Peters.
are you serious?
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate that.
That's
Tennessee.
that's
I
my
could see
biggest
Tennessee
upset.
flaming
They're
out,
vulnerable. Tennessee is.
but I
vulnerable.
don't see them flaming out right now.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the next game?
Tennessee and Texas.
Uh,
Or let's go St. Peter's and Texas first.
Yeah.
Because Will and I got the same one. Go St. Peter's.
I
and
want
Texas.
so bad for them to have another Cinderella run.
that would,
I want
I
it
would
so
agree.
bad.
they don't deserve it. How come Akron can't? But they get to. It's unfair.
Yeah, well, I think Creighton's a better team than Tennessee.
I
I
agree.
really disagree with the seeding there.
No, I think Tennessee deserves a 2 seed, but I would say Creighton is a better
Creighton
team.
didn't
Yeah.
get a 2 seed because they didn't make the Big East championship. That's what it was. It was going to be either Marquette. Or
If
Creighton,
Tennessee would have won the SEC championship, I honestly
One.
would have given them the 1
it
seed
would have been a 1.
over North Carolina, but they didn't.
I need your pick. Did you pick Texas technically? Dude,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Texas and Tennessee, William.
I have Texas.
Okay.
Tennessee, I was earlier this season. I was in love with them. I was like, they're gonna win the championship. But they still have Rick Barnes as their coach. Dalton Connect is so good, but I'm very high on Texas. If they were playing like any of the other, if they were playing Florida or Nevada, like those 7-10 matchups, I would probably have Tennessee winning, but I'm very high on Texas. I think Texas is a great team, so I got Texas.
I've went very back and forth on this because it's the same thing as you, but I'm going Tennessee in the slightest of
Okay.
margins.
I think this is
Like,
going to be a great game.
Yeah, I think like Tennessee could be winning on like a buzzer beater
All right.
low-key in this one.
Can we okay.
Okay.
Which orange is better? Texas or Tennessee? This is so easy for me.
Tennessee.
That's the best orange.
Vintage. I just think of like their court.
Tennessee
know
has
if
the
their
best
court-
orange.
I
Oh,
don't
dude, I
think
love their
The
court.
court's
With the
awesome.
blue Pat Summit
Yeah.
signature, that blue pops on that court
Yeah,
against the
Tennessee.
orange. It's awesome.
Sexy.
That's a great court.
Tennessee's a great state to visit.
And
too.
they got the orange. They got the
Tennessee.
orange striped pants that they wear.
Yeah,
I love teams that wear those.
I love Tennessee.
But I think only who are the teams? Tennessee is allowed to wear them. Indiana's allowed to wear them.
Mhm.
That's it. No one else should wear them.
Yeah. All right, we got South Carolina and Creighton for you guys. Will kind of already said his because he's got Creighton
Yeah,
going pretty
Creighton.
far. So
Creighton easily.
Tom,
Creighton.
Yeah.
and then I had Creighton, Oregon.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna be close. Creighton in
Yes.
that one. All right, you guys got Kansas, Gonzaga. I got Kansas, McNeese. I'll keep mine short. McNeese's run ends here. Kansas is gonna beat McNeese.
I got Gonzaga. I'm very high on this team. Gonzaga.
Man, I really don't love either of these two teams. I really don't. But
Yeah.
Go Zags, I guess. Maybe. For now.
Gonzaga it is.
Yep.
Purdue, Utah State.
This is gonna be a good game. I can't wait for this game. If these two teams play, Zach Edey versus Great Osobor, two like polar opposite style big men, and Great Osobor, he's just like a force, but he's got some finesse. He's got handles. Oh my God! Every year you get one of those 1 versus 8-9 games. That's like a great game. Like we've already kind of talked about it. This is gonna be that game. Purdue and Utah State. This is gonna be must watch, and I'm gonna be there.
There you go.
So sadly, I have Purdue winning, but I think this is gonna be such a good game. I can't wait. Great Osobor versus Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Highlight it.
There you go.
Purdue's beatable. I wouldn't be surprised if, I think I picked Utah State, but whatever team they play, they could definitely keep it close. But I'm gonna go Purdue for this one.
The winner of this game is going to the Elite Eight. I think this is the toughest matchup for Purdue before the Elite Eight, but I got Purdue winning this one. Close one.
Okay, next round.
Purdue and you guys got Gonzaga.
Yep.
I got Purdue, Kansas. I'll go first with mine. Purdue's going to beat Kansas.
I have Gonzaga beating Purdue.
Okay.
Purdue's gonna get to the second weekend this time, but I just got a feeling. I don't know. I don't think Gonzaga's that great of a team, but I don't know. I just got a little bit of a feeling. I just seems like the pick.
Yeah.
God, I hate this, but Purdue again.
Ugh.
I hate it. It's not
Gross.
good. It's not good.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like it.
I don't like that whole section of the region.
Yeah, the Midwest has to be the worst.
No,
side
the
of it
West.
all.
The West. The West is really bad.
Yeah, but the matchups aren't as bad. Like,
True.
I feel like the West will have more competitive games.
Yeah.
The Midwest just kind of.
Yeah, I think the
It's
Midwest
mid.
is going to have I think the second round in the Midwest is really good. You got Purdue and Utah State. You got maybe Gonzaga, Kansas, and then you got maybe Texas, Tennessee. I think all three of those could be really great second round games. But yeah.
All right. And then next one, again, Will kind of said Creighton was going to
Yes,
go pretty far. So
Creighton. I have
Will's
Creighton
got
beating Gonzaga, yeah.
There we go. And then, so for me, when we go with Creighton and Tennessee, I'm going Blue Jays on that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
was-
It's okay.
I was
You had already said earlier
too fast.
Creighton in the
Yeah,
Final
my
Four.
bad.
But Will's pick is Creighton for the Final Four, so Tom
Yeah.
and I will finish ours up then.
I have them beating Texas and
Creighton
then Gonzaga.
and Texas.
Creighton.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we both got Creighton, Purdue. Who do you think, Tom? Or if you want me to go first, because I got my mind sold. It's Creighton.
Yeah.
Creighton.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me
I mean,
that, bro.
I just talk
All right,
smack
we're
on
chalk.
Purdue.
We're chalk on that too.
I talk smack on Purdue.
So we
I
all
can't-
have Creighton
and
out of that
UConn.
region?
Well, Creighton and UConn, we all agreed on.
Wow.
Those ones.
Wow.
But now we're in it. Final four.
Okay.
So I got UConn, Arizona.
I have UConn Baylor.
UConn, Baylor. Tom, didn't you have? You had UConn and
I mean,
you were St. Mary's. You picked St.
I-
Mary's.
I- yeah.
I can't believe that.
I don't know how that worked out.
UConn's gonna beat Arizona on mine.
I have to
yeah.
rethink that one.
I have UConn.
you
I have UConn in the championship.
UConn.
Yeah, UConn.
Okay.
UConn in the championship, and then I have Kentucky and Creighton.
I have Houston and Creighton.
Okay.
I think I had Houston Creighton
Yeah.
too.
I'm going Kentucky over Creighton. I think Creighton gets
Wow.
there, but I don't think it's a Big East championship in the national championship. I'm going with Kentucky.
Creighton.
I have Houston. You have Creighton?
I'm gonna run
Nice.
it.
All Big
I'm
East
gonna run it.
championships.
Nice.
I'm gonna run it.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
then-
go.
Finally. We'll let Tom go first here, actually, because he's going on the Creighton train. And I want to hear what he says about the
Yeah,
Big East.
UConn versus
UConn
Creighton.
and Creighton. Who's winning?
I foreshadowed earlier pretty blatantly. I said UConn.
Okay.
I think Creighton. I don't want to say they're gonna run out. Like I really think this is gonna go down. Like it may even go to overtime. But like we're probably gonna. I think we're gonna see like it's gonna come down to the final possession. It may be a
Yeah.
oh my God, buzzer beater, buzzer beater, buzzer beater, buzzer beater, buzzer beater. Let's go,
There we go.
UConn.
Okay. I just realized in my Final Four, I have 2 Big East teams and 2 Big 12 teams.
That shows how great
So,
the conferences are.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, I said I got UConn and Houston in my championship. Oh, my God. This is going to be such... Dude, if this... I want this to happen so bad because these 2 teams are so good. Man, this would be awesome. I I just got a feeling about Houston. I just think it's so tough to go back to back, and that really is my only reasoning because I think both these teams are so good that it's tough to really give one team the edge over the other. They've pretty much been the top 3 all season. From February, we know we pretty much knew UConn, Houston, and Purdue were locks for 1 seeds, and I don't think anybody really took Purdue very serious.
I don't.
But UConn and Houston, I mean, I just think these two teams are so good, and I really hope they play each other in the title. Yeah.
All right, for me, UConn, Kentucky. I think it's going to be an incredibly high-scoring national championship game if this comes to fruition. But the Huskies are going to go back-to-back. I got UConn.
Dang.
I didn't want to be boring either. That's why I picked Auburn to win one of mine.
Yeah.
I think Auburn genuinely has a great shot at winning the national championship. But, of course, those two, again, play each other in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
UConn, though.
Yeah.
UConn is my champ. But congratulations, guys. We did it. We went through the whole entire bracket. That was great work. We're just going to touch on a couple different sports topics.
Okay.
We'll touch on it pretty quickly here as well since have been going at it for a while. But first and foremost, Tom Dry's Steelers. I'm going to let Tom take the majority on this one. They went out and got Justin Fields. After one of the most legendary moments on Raiders on the podcast of hearing Tom Dry vent like crazy
Really?
about how bad Omar Khan was. He went and got Justin Fields, man. What are you feeling about Justin Fields?
So here's my thing. Well, it wasn't as much directed at Omar Khan as it was just as at the organization in general.
I mean, dude, you called Mike Tomlin a fraud that day.
I said he could be.
Wow.
I said he could be. The reason I said this, he hasn't won a playoff.
The F word? You called him the F word?
I called him that F word. I called him a fraud.
Oh my god.
I said he could be. Listen, I think he's a great coach. I really think he is. But I think he's the NFL equivalent. He may be the NFL equivalent of Doc Rivers.
Oh, that's strong words.
He hasn't won a championship since 2016 or 2008. Just like Doc Rivers. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. Doc Rivers can't get past the second round. Mike Tomlin can't get past the first round. It's pretty similar. However, Omar Khan, the con artist, I was upset at the Steelers because I think they failed Pickett. I also think Pickett failed the Steelers. I think we can all agree on that. And I initially didn't want us to make this move leading up to it because everybody was like, it's going to cost probably a second-round pick or a third-round draft pick. I think that's a big investment for a guy that's he's talented and he has a lot of potential, but I hate the word potential because it's unrealized success. He could do that, but nobody knows if he ever will, if that makes any sense. I think he's very athletic, Fields is, but he's very turnover prone, which drives me insane. I hate that. If you can't control the ball, you're screwed. You could put up 40 points. If you have 2 or more turnovers, you're probably going to lose. But for a 6th round pick,
that's a steal.
For a 6th round pick,
a 4th if he plays, which he's not going to, right?
Probably not.
He's
unless injuries occur.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't end up playing and he just learns behind Russ for a year. Hopefully. But I need to shout out Omar Khan because I said I hope he has a plan. Turns out he had a plan. He had a plan better than I ever would have thought of. And you know what? If you include what he traded, so he traded Chase Claypool in 2022 for a second-round pick. That pick became Joey Porter Jr.
Dang.
This is with the Bears. And he just traded a 6th-round pick, a conditional 6th-round pick, for Justin Fields. We got Justin Fields and Joey Porter Jr. for Chase Claypool and a 6th-round pick. You know how crazy that is?
The Bears.
The worst. Bro, I don't know. This may be the year we finally win another playoff game. And I'll cry. I'll cry if it happens. I'll be that happy.
I mean, I wish we could go back right now and go back to your rant last week about how, you've never really seen the Steelers be good. And
it's true.
Bro, and I was like, cry me a river, and I still am like, cry me a river. I've seen the Browns win one freaking playoff game in my lifetime.
There's not a big difference between 1 and 3, Jacob. Come on now. They almost upset the Broncos in 2015 in Denver. And then Fitzgerald Toussaint fumbled.
Fitzgerald Toussaint is from around my area too.
Well, he's a
proud graduate of
He's
Liberty
a
High School, which is 10
Liberty.
minutes away.
He's probably a great guy, but if he could hold on to the ball, the Steelers would have played the Patriots in back-to-back years in the AFC Championship game. Come on.
Exactly. You would have made the AFC Championship game. I can't even fathom the Browns being in the AFC Championship.
But Jacob, you have to understand there's different standards to both of these organizations, the Browns and the Steelers.
But here's what I'm going to say, too, about your boy Justin Fields. They fleeced the Bears, and I think they might have gotten a franchise quarterback, bro. I literally think they might have gotten a franchise quarterback. No,
yeah.
Because this is what I'm saying. Russell Wilson, I know y'all got hope for him.
For a year.
I don't think he's going to be – I don't think he's even going to last a year, especially with Justin Fields there. I think the clock is already ticking right now for Russ because, if it was Kenny – I'd be like, okay, they're probably going to, try to get Kenny to learn a lot from Russ. With Justin Fields, I don't care what people say. I know he's turnover prone, but, bro, he played so much better down the stretch of last season. He played so much better.
It was hard to go down after that first half.
Yeah. But still, he came back from his injury, and he looked like a totally different quarterback.
I think the biggest part of this, and it may very well prove what I said on Friday with regards to the Steelers don't know how to develop a franchise quarterback. They don't. Mike Tomlin can't. He can't.
And they're going to – I don't know. I shouldn't be throwing up a franchise quarterback, but that's just how high I am on Justin Fields. But I think Justin Fields has already gotten groomed, if you want to call it that way. But I know it's some awkward wording. But
I don't want the Chicago Bears.
But by the Bears, I think the Bears already treated him decently well enough where he's gotten better as his end. No. This is what I'm saying. The weapons, heck no. He never had any weapons around him. But then I think the Bears, at least let him progress a little bit as a quarterback. And I think that now the Steelers, it's not like the Steelers are getting, just a whole brand new quarterback, and they're like, oh, we got to start from square one. I think he's at, square two or square three or whatever. But,
if I'm Justin Fields, I'm filing a restraining order against the Chicago Bears. They did that man dirty. They did him dirty.
Now he's in a good situation.
Yeah, but you know what? If everybody was good as everybody thought he was, they wouldn't even think about drafting Caleb Williams. They'd trade that and get another haul like they did when they traded the first overall pick last year.
Yeah, but I think that y'all won that trade, obviously.
Bro, it's not even
the
close.
offseason is kind of saved because last week, we were all in agreement. What the heck is Pittsburgh doing? But now
that was all right. With some other reports, I may have to redact. I don't believe in redacting statements, but Kenny Pickett, he's maybe not the man of character I thought he was. If you don't want to compete, I don't want you near
and Justin
my team.
Fields is. Justin Fields is a good dude.
I think Kenny Pickett's a good dude. He just seems entitled. He acts like he's entitled. I hate people that act entitled when they haven't done a darn thing to deserve it.
But mark my words, and if this comes back to bite me, I don't care. Justin Fields will be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers at least by week 10.
I think Justin Fields was at his best with the Bears when they let him play to his best.
Yeah.
A lot of especially in the last season, they were in that he played really. Was it 2 seasons ago that he was playing really well, and then last season he wasn't as good.
Yeah.
They were trying to force him back into being a pocket passer. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Let
him run.
Why if you know that's a guy's strength, he's playing well when he's running and when he is playing the game he knows how to play. Why were the Bears changing him back to being a pocket passer? I think if the Steelers could just let him play the game he wants to play, which who knows? I don't know how the Steelers are gonna coach him or whatever, or how they want to play, but
they can't do worse than what they did with Pickett.
Dude, yeah, but now, I think Justin, and I don't like Najee Harris. I'm just gonna be real. I don't like Najee Harris, obviously.
I don't love that we drafted him in the first round, but I think he's a very good back.
But this is what I was about to say. You're gonna have Justin Fields now surrounded by Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, who definitely aren't they're not scrub running backs. They're good running backs.
They're one of the best duos.
They're good.
In the league.
That's a good duo. And then Pickens, I know we talked a little bit last week. Is Pickens
Van Jefferson? He's not bad.
Yeah.
I think he's a solid 3. I don't know about him as a 2, but rumor has it that Omar is looking into Brandon Ayuk.
I heard about that too.
It's-
That'd be Mike Tomlin's twin.
It's just too much to pay to get him. That's my only thing.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Steelers saved the offseason, saved their own offseason.
Not only
It's a
that,
great move.
not only that, but if they actually take time to develop Justin Fields, I think
He'll develop.
I hope. I pray to God.
I hate that he'll develop, but he'll develop.
I think that. I think not only do they maybe save like their backup plan for this year, but I think if they actually put time into this, and Fields actually once coached, and accepts it and like re-signs here, because like if he could very well leave after this, because there's no way they're picking up his 5th-year option. I mean, it'd be bad business. But if they actually develop him and he wants to learn, they may have just saved the next 7 to 10 years of this franchise. Maybe.
I think it could go down being like an excellent like just off-season move with picking up both those guys. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a great
so
move.
I don't care.
You don't like Russ?
I don't like Russ.
I think he's I think he's still decent. Like
he's not bad. Again,
I don't think he's much like better or worse than who they had last season.
He did in Denver. I hope he learned from Denver.
Oh yeah, he had his own office.
Yeah,
his first year, Sean Payton got rid of a lot of that stuff.
I don't
even like Sean Payton that much.
I think Russell Wilson's immature personally myself.
I think he's overrated.
I think he's very
in terms
overrated
of
too.
who he is as a person. But I mean, listen, if he can throw 26 touchdowns and 8 picks like he did last year, if the Steelers had that, the Steelers probably instead of going 10-7, they probably go 12-5 and maybe. I don't think they win the division, but they're for sure a 5 seed.
Yeah.
They're for sure a 5 seed and probably playing in the divisional round, fighting to go to the AFC Championship. Like, they're not that far off. It's just competent quarterback play and competent coaching that can take them to a whole new level.
Yeah, well, maybe they got it here now with Justin Fields, but
I pray.
We're going to go, since we did a Pittsburgh thing, we're going to do a Cleveland thing real quick. There's 2 Cleveland storylines. You guys can talk very briefly if you want about both of them, or you can pick just one or the other. So, one from the NFL, one from the NBA. NFL, Jerry Jeudy. Browns obviously traded for him. He gets a big contract extension. He's extended for 3 years.
What do you think about that, Jacob?
I mean, I was talking to Dylan Zepp. Shout out Dylan Zepp. He's normally on this pod about this earlier today. What that move means to me is personally, I just think that move means Amari Cooper is very much possibly not going to be a Brown next year because he's a free agent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They gave Jeudy close to $20 million a year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would have done that, especially without even seeing him play for the Browns yet. But to me, they're like, oh, let's go with a younger stud wide receiver. And then Amari's been injury prone, and I don't think they want to pay Amari that much money. So
did you call Jerry Jeudy a stud?
No, I'm saying like
or what they think.
I do not view him as a stud. I will put this out to the public. Like, Jerry Judy's a solid wide receiver, but I don't even know if he's going to be like a solid wide receiver too.
I liked the idea of him as a wide receiver too. Yeah. But if they get rid of Cooper and he's wide receiver 1, I think they can. I don't like that very much.
I don't.
Dude, he has 11 touchdowns in 4 years.
Well, that's
why I have his stats pulled up right now. He has 3,000 passing yards. It's not terrible. He averages like around 750 just off of that math.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a season over 67 receptions. Well, granted, he played in Denver, but like, come on. I mean,
he's never had the best QB.
Yeah, he's never had a great quarterback.
But if you're viewed as a wide receiver 1,
yeah,
regardless of where
matter.
you're at, you should get close to 80 to 90 receptions a year at a minimum.
I do have faith in him, but I don't think he's worth the contract. I was kind of mad when they gave him that contract without him even playing it down yet. But
I think this goes back to development, though. True, on coaches to an extent at least.
We'll see. I'm still high on Cedric Tillman, too, for my Brownies. I think Cedric Tillman can develop into like a wide receiver 2 or 3.
Okay.
I'm just putting that out on the record. But the other Cleveland news, Donovan Mitchell. He has been out for a little bit of an extended time. He's got a nose fracture right now. Shout out Tristan Thompson on that. Tristan Thompson goes back from 25-game suspension. They run into each other. Donovan Mitchell breaks his nose. He's also got knee issues. So Donovan's out right now. The Cavs are struggling just a little bit. Right now I got the game on my phone a little bit too on halftime. They're down 61-57 right now at halftime to the Miami Heat right now. They got Marcus Morris, but right now the Cavs are kind of spiraling. What are we thinking right now? Donnie's injury.
What seed are they? Where are they in the East right now?
They're at the 3
they
seed.
dropped.
They dropped slightly. They picked up a big win against Indiana, and hopefully they can come back against Miami here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just injuries suck, man. I mean, it happened. It's been happening with my Clippers for years.
Mhm.
Injuries, they're the worst.
I personally think
I hope the Cavs can get healthy for playoff time.
I told my dad this the other day. I don't think Donovan's coming back till April, personally, because I think at this point they're
Might be for the best,
yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, they're like, let's just rest him for the playoffs, and like I think that's the route that they should go. But I'm worried that they're gonna fall to
if
like
they're
a 4.
if they're the 3, who are they playing?
Right now, it would be Philadelphia, which that scares the crap out of me because you don't know if Joel's gonna come back.
True. If we have if we have the 4, who would we play?
4 would be either Orlando or New York. I'd be fine playing Orlando.
I don't want New York.
Though, I don't want New York.
I don't want New York.
But New York would probably pass the Cavs for 3 if that was the case, because Orlando's 5 right now.
Okay.
The teams I don't want the Cavs to play, I don't want them to play Philly because I just think Joel can come back.
In the playoffs though, you got to play good teams.
I know, but Philly in the first round, I don't like that matchup. I don't like Indiana in the first round as a matchup either because
I like the Pacers.
I'm a Pacers. I think the Pacers are a good team.
Yeah.
If they play Miami, I think they could beat Miami personally. Even though Miami won.
Yeah.
I think they could beat Miami. I think they could beat Orlando. The Knicks, I do think the Knicks would probably have the upper hand.
Knicks scare me.
Healthy Knicks team.
Yeah.
Unhealthy Knicks team like how they've been, maybe that's a different story. But like Julius Randle back in there, if Mitchell Robinson makes a comeback in there, yeah, Knicks can beat the Cavs. But
yeah.
I just want the Cavs to win a playoff series.
Yes.
I don't have expectations of them going to the finals at all. I just want them to like build on what they did last year.
Yeah, because last year was disappointing.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. The Sixers, I have the Sixers falling to the 9 seed. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dang.
They picked up a big win though against Miami the other night, which put them back into the top 6.
I don't know how they did that, man. Like, dude, just without Joel, like, thank God Maxi's back, but like, Joel's. Like, we need Joel. I think it's very possible. I don't think we stay out of the play-in.
I don't think they should play Joel the rest of the year, personally. That's a whole other topic.
Are you talking about, like, the playoffs, too? Or
yeah, because, like,
really?
What's the point? Like, you're going to be in there as, like, a low seed.
I think, all right,
I don't think they have the team that's good enough to make a Eastern Conference Finals.
I think if Joel's completely healthy, I think they do.
To the Eastern Conference. Okay, so you're going to have them beat.
You're going to need a lucky bounce here and there,
Dude,
but I think it could happen.
They're not beating Milwaukee. They're not going to beat Boston. I don't think they could beat New York if they play New York in the first round.
If Joel Embiid's healthy, I think they can.
It's not. I don't know if it's as much as about health as it is about he hasn't played with them for so long.
And then not even that. When you look at Joel Embiid's career, the first 2 years of his freaking career were like put on hold basically because of injuries. Like, and now he's at the age where he's getting into his 30s, and it's like, dude, any injury could take this guy out for like the rest of his career. Personally, I think with his injury history. So like, why would you rush him back on the court if you're going to be a mid team in the playoffs?
Because here's the thing: the Sixers sucked from 2013, and they were bad. And I
trust the process.
That. I believed in that process. I bought in the middle of that process. I started watching basketball in 2015. You know what they went? They went 10-72, I believe. So bad. And then I fell in love with basketball.
Michael Carter-Williams was the savior for the Philadelphia 76ers at one point for 1 year.
Jahlil Okafor was
Jahlil Okafor.
Do you know Michael Carter-Williams?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And then they traded him after he won Rookie of the
Milwaukee
Year.
Bucks. He got traded to Milwaukee after that, yeah.
I mean, it was a good trade. I mean, Michael Carter-Williams didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the idea is, like, so many of my fellow Sixers fans and I have bought into this, and we suffered for a long time. It's kind of, I don't want to compare it to the Steelers, but, like, we're always told, like, you know, this could be the year. And theoretically, if everyone stays healthy, it could be. Like, I'm not saying to go to the finals, but, like, to at least make an Eastern Conference.
I highly disagree.
Whatever.
And that's like, and I could talk about. We've already been talking for close to an hour and a half. I could talk to an hour and a half about the NBA and how the Sixers definitely would not be on my top tier.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy, bro.
But I think when we've been in on this for over a decade, and the whole point about this is getting Joel a championship, and and he wants to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Joel leaves when his contract.
The whole point should be keep Joel Embiid's career going at this point.
But he gets hurt every year. There's no guarantee he's going to be healthy next year.
Okay, but if you bring him back, if you rush him from a knee injury, his knee's going to be way more vulnerable.
I'm not even saying they should rush him. Like, if he's cleared, like they shouldn't force it. But realistically, if they somehow become a 5 seed, I think Maxey could take the next to 7. Maybe.
That's a whole other. We'll get into NBA.
This is college basketball season.
Yeah, we'll get into NBA.
Not NBA season.
We might get into NBA next week.
This talking about the NBA just makes me just bad vibes. College basketball is so much more fun.
I agree.
Funny enough, I told the owner of Giannino's, who I'm actually friends with, this the other day.
All right.
This is my favorite time of the year because March Madness leads into the Masters. I love the Masters.
Okay. I've never watched the Masters, but I think I might this year.
I love the Masters.
Seems
and
calming.
Right after the Masters, NBA playoffs until June, and I'm in heaven. Like, I don't.
And then we're in the summer.
Yeah.
NHL playoffs too. Let's go. And then baseball's in full swing.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, but
baseball, sure, whatever.
We're going to wrap things up here with a last call question.
Oh,
and
okay.
Very quickly. Favorite March Madness moment for you guys?
Oh gosh.
I can go first if you guys want to think about it a little bit.
I mean, it's so like chalk, I guess, but Villanova game winner.
That was
it's so easy. It's just the best moment ever. It was great.
I have that one, but then I also thought of two other ones. My first March Madness memory ever, and it's still one of my favorite ones, is Gordon Hayward nearly hitting the buzzer beater.
I don't remember that.
That was wild.
First one I remember is I think it was 2014 or 15 when Wisconsin and Kentucky played in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Remember Frank Kaminsky?
Oh yeah.
Sam Decker. Well, that's my first memory.
Okay, so that was one of mine too, because it was more of like not watching it on TV. I went to the Sweet 16 and Elite Eights with Kentucky in it when Kentucky had that insane team. Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, all those dudes.
Yeah.
Devin Booker coming off the freaking bench. I mean, crazy. That's insane. And then they played Notre Dame, and then this is why I became a big Notre Dame fan in the Elite Eight. Notre Dame had them beat in that Elite Eight.
Really?
They had them beat, and then Andrew Harrison hit some free throws at the end of the game. That Notre Dame team had Jerry Grant, Pat Connaughton.
Wow.
They had Steve Vesturia, Zach August, a.k.a. they had no business beating a bunch of NBA All-Stars, but they nearly beat them.
That's a good team, though.
I mean, solid, yeah. And Mike Bray's a great
for Notre
coach.
Dame.
Mike Bray was a great
coach. Oh, yeah, wasn't he there for a super long time?
Yeah.
Notre Dame, yeah.
That made me a Notre Dame basketball fan. I became a Notre Dame basketball fan just by watching them play there. I remember that region very well. Kentucky played West Virginia in the Sweet 16. Obviously, Kentucky beat them there. And then it was Wichita State with Ron Baker and Fred Van Vliet.
Ooh. Ooh. That was a team,
They were
bro.
against Notre Dame. And then
Ron Baker.
Notre Dame should have beat Kentucky.
FVV.
That's probably my favorite March Madness moment. It was because I was there live. I was up on like practically the last row in what was Quicken Loans Arena. Now, of course, is Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Oh, dang, they had a session there.
I almost cried. I almost cried watching the game, and I had I didn't even care about Notre Dame until like that day. Notre Dame
If I'm like, I mean, I saw FDU beat Purdue live.
That's wild.
So now that I'm thinking about it, that probably is my favorite because I witnessed it. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. One of two games ever where a 16 beat a 1.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think my favorite moment, obviously, I'm a Pitt basketball fan. We had Jamie Dixon, and then I believe he left, and then it was Kevin Stallings, who was terrible. There may or may not be another coach in there. No, there wasn't. I believe it was just him. And then they brought in Jeff Capel. We were trashed for 4 years. 4 years. If you include Stallings, I believe it was 7. Last year, March 14th, Pitt played in the first 4, and we beat Mississippi State 60-59.
Dang,
that was one of the that may be one of the highest highs I've ever gotten off of like sports.
Yeah,
like it's that Pitt winning the ACC championship and the Penguins winning 2 Stanley Cups. Like those are just, I don't know. When we beat Mississippi State and then we beat Iowa State in the first round, bro, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Like
he was buzzing,
bro. I think that game ended almost at midnight. Like the Mississippi State game, it was like 11:30 or like quarter to midnight. Yeah. And I was trying. Like I went outside. Like I walked out of my house so I could yell. That's how excited I was.
It's crazy. March brings out the best in all of us, though.
It's the best, bro.
It was great going over the March Madness brackets with you guys. Glad we were able to do it.
Also, don't expand the tournament.
Don't
listen to Greg Sankey. Don't listen to Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo, retire. You're senile.
Whoa,
You're a bum.
Whoa, settle down.
On that note,
don't expand, please.
Don't expand, indeed. And hopefully everybody has a fun time watching.
I can't. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna try to watch every game.
I'm buzzing.
I can't wait. It'll be my first time in March Madness tomorrow. Akron versus
Have fun.
Creighton.
Have fun to
It's gonna
both
be
of
great.
you. We'll
Go
to Indianapolis,
Zips!
Yes, sir.
And
Go Zips!
and then Tom's going to Pitt.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Hey, why
I'm
not?
on the
Why not?
bandwagon.
Why not Akron?
I'll be watching from the comfort of beautiful Alliance, Ohio. But I wish you guys
Let's
the best
go.
of luck in your travels and happy March
And then,
Madness.
dude, I'm about to go back to my room and watch Boise State, Colorado.
Go for
That's
it.
gonna be a good game.
Go for it.
Should be a good game.
It should
Better
be a
than
good game indeed.
anything was better than that game last night, bro.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you all for listening once again. Happy March to everyone. Thank you all for listening.